All right. So welcome everybody to another episode of the Inquisitive Mindoflouist podcast. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is going to be like I think episode 11. We're finally in like the double digits. We got another great guest. We're going to go around, start across from me. Everybody introduce themselves.
Basil. Name is Basil Williams. Stage name King Basil. One half of Rebels No Savage.
Yes.
Wilmington native.
I make up the other half. I'm Evan. Go by Bernadino. One half of Rebels No Savage. Excited to be here.
All right. Thank y'all for coming in. To my left,
DJ Mike Lane, man. Mike Langston. Coast 97.3 Core DJs.
All right, and I am the Inquisitive Mindoflouist. I just wanted to give a big shout out to the sponsors. We got TwoCreativeCreations. So I mean, we got another two-parter. So I'm showing these now because I'm gonna let my guests try these at the break. This right here is called Hennessy Popcorn.
Hennessy Popcorn.
It will change your life.
Lit.
So, we also got some great treats, you know. So if you want to be a sponsor of Inquisitive Mindoflouist, mindoflouist@gmail.com. Also, big shout out to Designz by T. Gave me this T-shirt. If you want a custom tee, holla at Designz by a T. Information will be in the credits. So I got Rebels No Savage, DJ Mike Lane here. Something that just been kind of, as an older guy, you know, hip-hop background, just seeing kind of the new games, people that's dealing with new music now. Something that wasn't the same in my generation was clout chasing. You know, I like to call it like the viral virus. So we're going to just kind of like talk about why, how are people doing these things just to be famous. So I mean, and then just to see if you know, I mean, I don't know if do people even admit to when they're clout chasing? Like, so first of all, like what, Mike? I'm gonna start with you. Actually, I usually start across from me because being that you're in the DJ. What's your definition of clout chasing and what you think about it?
That's good. Yeah, that's start.
I personally don't like the clout chasing thing. I mean, but we're in a viral world today, so everything is based off of numbers of whatever you do on your, you know, everything is viral. It's social media. Yeah, social media runs everything now, from influencers to your artists to even to how your deals do. So people that clout chase, you're doing something to garner that attention. Mm-hmm. So no matter what it is, like example, Boot Gang. We all knew him as running up in something, taking it, yelling Boot Gang and dipping, and next thing you know, he's dropping a project. He's rapping. Like he built his followers off of a crazy act. Yeah. Now he has a huge fan base, and now he's rapping.
And they're usually not rappers first.
Right. A lot of the people aren't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in today's, you don't even, because of social media, you don't have to actually be an artist. You just have to have a fan base or a following, and Atlantic Records offer you a deal.
Yeah. You got to have
an artist.
You got to have a gimmick.
Like Catch Me Outside, how about that? Yeah. They just made her, I feel like they made her a rapper, you know.
See, but here's the funny thing about it is that just shows, like, the power of hip-hop. Like, every single kid in America wants to be a rapper. And they out here doing this crazy... Are we allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can curse.
They out here doing this crazy shit, stealing...
I'm not monetized yet.
Stealing, doing crazy stuff, attacking people, doing whatever, gets this... There's always a goal in mind. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be a celebrity.
But why? Like...
Because people... It's crazy. You should see... We go to UNCW or PWI. People love us. Like, they're just like... Rap is cool. Like, people... Every single rapper I know on campus, everybody's just like... Hip-hop is just something that gravitates people.
The hip-hop...
And you want to
It influences everything. Like, every aspect of hip-hop influences every lifestyle nowadays. And no matter the color, it influences fashion, the sneaker industry. It influences sports. It influences...
I mean,
you can even say religion. Like like how many
Kanye Sunday service.
Yeah, so
right.
you get to Sunday service. A lot of people didn't understand that though. Like they didn't understand that was everything that Kanye sampled. He samples a lot of gospel music in a lot of his regular music.
True.
A lot of people didn't get it. Yeah. But even you got pastors that are wearing $1,500 shoes.
I see there's an Instagram devoted to that.
Talk about it.
Also buying their wives $200,000 Lamborghini trucks.
Talk about it.
The culture is like pop culture right now it is hip hop. Like even like Billy Ray, country singer, got the #1 song with Lil Nas X, the Old Town Road. Like it's hip hop, but he's like saying nah, it's country, but everybody knows like this is hip hop. Like this is the influence.
And
of
now
hip-hop.
what does Billy Ray do? He drops 2 new songs.
Nah,
What's the
come
2
on,
top
man.
things when I look at title when I just log in? It's 2 new Billy Ray songs.
Talk
Off the
about
strength
it.
of
Billy
hip-hop.
Ray hasn't dropped anything in a
Talk
minute.
about it.
Yeah, his daughter didn't do that for him.
Talk about it.
And you see her, because to me it's so funny. You have his daughter, and she run the hip hop. It didn't work for her. She can run away, and it's cool. Like I feel like hip hop is I feel like hip hop is more accepting than other people. Where country's not accepting Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
So why did we accept Billy Ray's daughter, Molly?
You think
what's her name?
Miley
Hannah
Cyrus.
Montana. Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana, highly racer.
That's like me and Evan were talking the other day about Post Malone. Like Post Malone is an amazing artist, but what his music, Post Malone is not going to be so different if he comes out as a country singer or if he comes out as a pop singer. It's okay, you can sing, your music's cool.
Yeah.
You're Post Malone, you come out, I'm going to brand myself as hip hop.
Yeah.
You're different. You can sing, you can play guitar.
And you don't have to be that good at any of them.
And you got some trap drums in there.
You get the
Post
right.
Malone, I've never heard Post Malone rap, but every album is under hip hop.
Look at Lil Duval. One song
No.
will change your life.
It's more profitable to be hip hop right now. Like Post Malone, all these little clout chasing kids, like Catch Me Outside, the most profitable thing they can do is blow up off something stupid and become a rapper.
So do you think
Like,
it's because
I don't know.
Do you think it's because it's more profitable, which I'm not going to disagree with, or is it just easier to say you're a rapper without having any talent?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I feel like in rap we don't have gatekeepers. Like so, like Lil Nas X drops a song, and country immediately says no, this is not country. So what does he have to do? He has to run to a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And Billy Ray Cyrus is a country artist.
Yeah.
Throw him on the remix. Now you're #1 country song. Nelly did the same thing and had
Hold
the
on.
#1 country song back in the day.
But he had a gatekeeper.
And he was
But he
getting-
had a gatekeeper with him. Who's the gatekeeper of hip hop that's telling Catch Me Outside, no, you're not a hip hop artist?
I mean,
We don't have that.
Yeah, because
Jay?
I mean, I was about to say Jay's kind of like that.
But Jay's very well aware.
But
of the
you got
situation.
he can't control
He
what's going
He
on in
can't
Atlantic.
control everything.
You know what I mean? Like there's people that black people as a whole has always been a commodity to do it as you want. And we've never been in a position to really we can do for ourselves, like Jay can do for Rock Nation, his artists, or whatever. But it's too big. He can't control. Like, because I mean, I've been taking shots at Atlantic, but there's two halves of Atlantic. There's like a real label, and then there's, I feel like, the clout chasing side of it. You know, that will just sign anybody that's hot. You know what I mean?
Well, I will backtrack one thing I said, because I've been watching a lot of Post Malone interviews. He seems like a genuine guy, and like this is the music he wants to make. I'm just saying, coincidentally, it's very profitable for him to be this guy that
From a
immediately
business
stands
aspect.
out in the world of hip hop.
Lil Dicky's the same way.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
I'm not taking anything away from him. And his
Oh no!
music.
And to back
So,
up, kind of what you're saying, Post Malone, when he came out, he never said he was a rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He, but which in rap, that's kind of like the cool thing to say anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
because I mean, Young
not
Jeezy
a-
say he's not a rapper too, but he's saying it's two different kind of ways of saying that.
Right.
But he definitely, White Iverson. You can't say that's not hip hop, even though it's not rap music.
Yeah.
But you use AI,
Yeah.
who was one of the biggest people in the league, to cross
Controversial.
over hip hop into basketball.
Well, that's what I say. It's hip hop.
Yeah.
It's not rap
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
But it's hip hop.
The facade. It's like
I really sometimes don't even call it clout chasing. Sometimes you have people, and that word that's used, that term that's used a lot, the culture vultures. Some people literally
Like exploit.
eat up the culture and exploit it.
Yeah.
They do it, and if they wiggle in and it works, I'm going to keep attacking it.
So I'm gonna throw out some names. and y'all tell me if you think they're clout chasers, cultural vultures, or kind of, you know what I mean? I'm just on only a couple just to kind of like get the temperature. So like, I'm not gonna go with the obvious one, but I'm gonna start with Jacquees. You know, him saying he's the king of R&B. Is that clout chasing?
Man, if you know anything about, I've been thankful enough to grow up with a family that knows something a little bit about you know, like the Commodores, whether it's the Commodores, whether it's the Earth, Wind and Fire. There's a lot of dope R&B artists, and I can't sit here and say at my age, and I know my parents would argue me out the room if I even mentioned Jacquees.
I wouldn't even call him clout chasing and saying it. What he did was he actually just drew attention in a void.
But isn't that clout chasing?
No, because he was a good singer. Now
he can sing. Yeah.
Now everything that he does is under scrutiny. So if he messes up one time,
but you can be talented and be a clout chaser. Because I consider Nicki to be a clout chaser, but Nicki is very talented. Well, I think in the case of Jacquees, like who's saying, yo, that new Jacquees song came out the other day, or like.
Boot Up.
His
Boot Up remix.
That Boot Up goes viral. It's like, man, I'm getting viral. I'm getting plays. How do I go viral again? Oh, okay, I'm the king of R&B. Oh, everybody's talking about me some more. They still playing my songs to see if I'm the king of R&B versus this dude. Like, I think it's clout chasing, but I do think he's talented. He's a real artist and he's talented. But I feel like at this stage of his career, he's at the point where like to get that type of attention. It's not gonna come from.
But I'll ask you this: if Jacquees was signed to anybody else but Birdman,
and that's another thing too. So like, there's a lot of artists. Like you look at the talent at OVO. I'm not even gonna say anything. But like, there's some artists.
Don't be scared. I'm small. Say it.
There's some artists on OVO that if you took them somewhere else, they'd be huge. Party,
it's the same thing.
Roy Woods,
right.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing with Dreamville. You take. Mez is my homeboy. Me and King Mez, we grew up together. You take King Mez, who's been working with Dre, working with somebody else, and give him to Jay and tell him to do some of the same things he's doing.
I know,
a different lane.
I know Mez. I met him, and I'm familiar with his career. I disagree because I think it's about the work. I mean, I look like right now, you got to create a lane for yourself. Like even back in, I would say my generation of music. You can't just be Memphis Bleak and be on the label. You gotta get hot, and then it's like once you get hot, someone can take that.
But
and
I
do
always
something with
say
some people get content though.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. I always say this though, and this is just me personally.
I love Mez. Mez is dope. But I'm just saying I can't blame because I didn't even know he was with Dreamville. And I mean, like I know he directed J. Cole's. He directed Middle Child for people that don't know. King Mez. He was on Compton. But I look at I compare King Mez to Pac because they were both. I feel like Compton should have been their springboard.
Right.
Addison Pac went. The
album. Mez
soundtrack.
was the first voice on the album.
Yeah.
Right.
He had some of the dopest bars.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll put it to you like this.
But wait. Let me make my point real quick. But Pac, and I know some people love him. But most people are middle.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of people love him.
But
he got busy. He got busy after Compton.
Yeah, he got busy.
Yeah. So that's why I say, even though I'm a fan of Mez, I can't blame anybody but Mez.
Gift and the curse.
But what if the situation didn't allow him to?
Gift and the curse. I'll be honest with you. Me personally, if I was an artist, but how well will Boz do?
Boz, I went to Dreamville Fest. People were
Boz,
wearing them
that's what I'm saying. He had to let it set.
Shows.
But Mez was with Interscope for a while though. So if he's with Dreamville, that's new.
Boz's last
Interscope
album
and Dreamville are the
did
same
what?
thing.
Well, I mean, he is on the Interscope. He was on the Aftermath.
For all intents and purposes,
Dreamville's
Dreamville's Interscope.
Sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, honestly.
But Boz's last album did what?
He had an album though.
Yeah.
That's on you. Yeah.
All right. Gift and the curse for me is it's always been this. I work with Dipset. I'm still currently working with like Small World, Don Taylor from DTP, who's independent now. Gift and the curse is being signed to an artist. An active
agree with
artist.
that.
I hate
agree with
there's
that.
no diss to like your Cole. Jay is different with Rock Nation because that's just a totally different situation.
Well, he's on Run Rock. I mean, he's a figurehead almost.
Right. But you couldn't pay me if I was a dope artist right now. Cole couldn't come to me. Kendrick Lamar couldn't come to me.
I don't know. TDE is pretty dope.
I'm going to disagree for it.
TDE is dope. But how many people on TDE have huge releases? Let me do that without Kendrick on my album.
That's true.
Yeah,
Okay.
One, I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
Now,
I don't
with that
disagree.
being said,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Like, let me get Party to drop something crazy off of OVO without Drake, and can I have that same impact?
But
I feel like OVO staggers the. Like I feel like Drake. So although I feel I can go through every situation and make comment both of those. Being that you said OVO last, I'll start there and work my way back. I feel like, and I think Basil was kind of hinting towards it earlier. When you're at OVO, you're not really OVO. You're on OVO the same way you're on Aftermath. You're on OVO as a writer, a producer for Drake.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna step into my personal thoughts. Knowing what I know, what we've learned over doing this, my personal opinion, I would sign to OVO, and here's why. I'm confident in our music that type of springboard with Drake being the biggest artist right here, even if he doesn't even get on a song, being associated with him, your music is going to speak for itself. You're going to get that project.
Yeah,
you're going to get that
clout chasing.
But that's not clout chasing, because look, Roy Wood's first EP was amazing. That Exodus EP, you listen to his music since then, is dope, but you can tell he's not as, it doesn't sound as hungry as when, like, okay, you were trying to get on, you just got signed to this label, you were about to prove yourself, and your music was there. From there, you had your shot. Like, from there, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep grinding
but the
and get your
same
music
thing could
better?
be said as like
Kanye was under Jay, and now look.
2 Chainz.
They got the same amount of Grammys.
Duffel Bag Boys, when they were on DTP, 2 Chainz was just as hot then. It took him buying out his contract to get to the point of where he is now.
Well, look at Drake. He's under Wayne to the point where, like, Drake is arguably bigger than Wayne right now.
Yeah.
Kanye
and Nicki.
Same amount of Grammys
that Young
as
Money was
Jay-Z.
set up for that. Wayne knew that. Wayne went and got Nicki from Deb.
But name a rapper signed to OVO. I think it might just be on purpose.
So you kind of proving my point. I feel like you can't just say, and I mean, for the most part, I feel like signing under an artist is not necessarily the best thing. But you can't. That's not a blanket statement. Like I can't put that on. I can't put that on Dreamville. Like, Young Money. But a lot of people you can. I mean, look at Meek Mill. Meek Mill was under T.I. T.I. had this situation, then he went to Ross, and he's prospered. I would say Meek Mill is one of the hottest artists right now. He
stands for a lot more, I think, than just music. Like, I think.
But see, I think Meek's situation has propelled him to where he is now.
Him getting obliterated by Drake.
It's still about the artist. Whatever you're saying, whatever it is, the art. I feel like, especially in today's time, and we're so jumping around, but especially in today's time, it's about the artist kind of making their niche for themselves, whatever it is, and then you can directly get to your fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think the situation is different in every situation. I think Tiana Taylor needs Kanye.
Maybe.
I don't know. He messed up her last album.
I don't think he messed it up. I just don't think it. I think the timing of it.
I don't think the communication.
But the thing is,
we're so not talking about clout chasing right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
From what she said she had an album.
Yeah.
Given to Kanye.
So is clout chasing then? Whether it's talking about, like, you could argue that even that whole conversation about the album being different. I'm not knocking on Tiana Taylor; she's a wonderful artist, but maybe that could be a form of clout chasing to bring more attention to her album.
And I'm older.
Like, is that awareness?
I always thought of clout chasing like the 6ix9ine, 50 Cent.
See, that's what I'm feeling.
That's what I'm thinking. When you do antics that usually not involving music.
Okay.
To have yourself relevant.
But sometimes you do chase that clout of chasing what's relevant.
Okay.
So if it's
like a sound
that,
of music.
it could be a sound, it could be a situation.
Well, I mean, that you saying that Jay-Z would be a clout chaser. I mean, I'm a big Jay-Z fan, but Jay-Z, every album he chased, like, you can listen to Jay-Z album, you know what year it is.
I think that's too broad of a term, clout chaser, because, like, sometimes we'll record freestyles and we're like, yo, this shit is hard. I'm about to record a video and post this on Instagram tonight. And we'll do it and everybody comment and we feel so good.
Because
in a way,
that's
clout chasing. Right. Like, we're doing that to get relevance, but we're doing it with music. Like, that's why I think clout chasing is so broad.
Y'all are not like, like, and rest in peace, but y'all ain't like XXXTentacion, y'all ain't hanging yourself
Of
on a
course.
video.
But I will say also, X, if you listen to his music, and he connected with the youth, like I don't think there's been an artist in the last few years that's really connected with like youth the way like
I was confused at first when a lot of
huge.
his fans was like, "This is our Tupac." I was confused until Nipsey died.
Yeah, that
Because Nipsey, like, I was around 32.
Mm-hmm.
I was around with Tupac. Yeah. But Nipsey's death had that effect on me that I saw when Tupac was killed.
Yeah.
To me, because I'm been a Nipsey fan, but it's like, yo, for my generation, he was a year older.
Yeah.
So I grew up with Nipsey. He's 32, 33, 34?
He died at 33.
33, 32. So, like, that was my Tupac.
You got to think X was like 19, 20.
Right. So
Yeah.
for like, and I hate to say this, but that young pill popper age,
Yeah.
like that's them.
Or young college students. Not
I
necessarily.
mean, yeah, I ain't gonna say it, but to me, that's what when I
People
listened
get
to it, that's
higher
what I thought.
education.
Yeah, to me though, like that's what I thought. Looking
Yeah.
at it, it's like, yo, it's like these
Oh.
dudes pop pills, they smoke all day. That's your crowd.
Yeah.
So okay, let's all right. Let's go. Let's go back to the name game.
Let's get it.
One, before we get into the name game, you mentioned Nicki. So why do you think Nicki's a clout chaser?
But that's another thing. I was saying just how we clout chase is not. She's not. I don't think
So you
she's
don't think
doing
she's
it
doing
in
it
a
now?
negative way. I'm just saying like in the term seeking attention.
When her and Cardi B were going at it, I watched. I think Zane Lowe. They had an Apple Beats One
Yeah,
I
the
remember that.
interview, and I've always been just the history of hip hop. Like we've taken sidebar. We've taken a history of hip hop class at UNCW that they have now, and it's pretty cool to
They
see.
ain't had that when I was there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
dope.
it really is cool, but
like
it
I
really
need to
does
teach.
open your eyes about
Right.
like just
be a
how
best
hip hop has really like stayed the same. And one thing that I think we've lost, well, in the general scheme of things, is people used to kind of I guess bring each other up, and kind of tag along. Like there's more rap cliques, like whether you had even the boroughs in New York,
Yeah.
like you had groups of people that
you
got
had
together,
UTFO
yeah,
back then,
like that
you
was
had-
that was
yeah.
how you off the strength. And so I feel like now with social media, we kind of see a lot of these independent movements, and I feel like Nicki's trying to keep up with this facade that she had maybe half a decade ago, where
Yeah.
she was the center of attention. Like, if there's a hot track, Nicki was on it.
It was
like,
just
for
a
the summer.
void, though. There
Yeah.
was a void in
Oh.
female rappers during that time.
True.
During that time, though, I think me personally,
That's
I just
why.
think Beam Me Up, Scotty, her first mixtape. I swear, I listened to that joint nonstop because of her singing.
Oh wow.
But I feel for Nicki, and I understand like she been doing this, like she was working like years, like she's been trying to do this, and she like came up off her music.
Yeah.
Like it was a slow grind, and like I get Cardi the same way. All respect for Cardi too, but it happened so much quicker for Cardi. Where Cardi comes up one song, number one, she's the hottest thing. She went in.
But
a
you know what's
Grammy.
crazy? That Cardi had 3 songs before that.
Cardi
Yeah,
had
I knew.
mixtapes, but it's like
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
was
She
was
had
really
3
fucking with
push.
them?
She
Like,
had 3
3
push
push
songs
songs.
before that. Before Bodak Yellow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't want to, Nicki, like I feel like that hasn't been that competition, I guess, from what
Yeah.
you're
But
saying.
when
Yeah.
Nicki
That
Nicki
tension.
hit the scene, you had no young M.A. Remy Ma was
Remy
locked
Ma.
up.
Lil Kim wasn't. Well, Lil Kim wasn't even.
Lil
she
Kim was
off.
just-
Yeah, she just coming off.
So
So
Up and
even in
down.
the
Yeah.
age of all these female rappers, Cardi still came up quicker than like all of them.
Yeah, and without no male cosign.
Yeah, like that song just took off, and it just I don't know how it just.
Yeah, but then again, you got to remember, Love and Hip Hop
Hip-hop,
propelled
yeah.
her to that.
Yeah,
So
she
people
was
know
She
on
wouldn't have had a
Cardi.
fan base without Love and Hip Hop.
Nah, she had a fan base that got her too. I don't want to like. You can't really take away the stuff that she's done to get
Oh,
to
yeah.
where she was.
I don't
I
take
don't
it.
think
I don't
She
knock
had-
any.
she
Yeah.
had-
Yeah.
she was. I wouldn't say a clout chaser, but she definitely had that. Viral
She rode
virus.
She rode the wave.
Yeah, because she
She
was
literally
hot
rode that wave.
online, which got her to Love and Hip Hop.
She was
And then
viral.
she used what she had to keep propelling herself. So I mean, I'm not as mad as at a Cardi as someone like Kodak Black. I think Kodak Black he's a clout chaser. He says stuff for attention.
But she came up off his
that.
song though.
True.
Without Kodak Black, there's no Cardi B if you think about it.
Which it's and I think there's like a deeper role at play because that's why I can't knock Cardi. You know, I feel like just today it seems to be let's find out what works and let's just ring it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Ring it out.
And I mean, I can't knock it. I do that with my podcast.
Yeah, of course.
I throw stuff on the wall and what sticks, I might roll with it. But until then, I'm throwing stuff at the wall. But I mean, I still want to hear y'all opinion on people like, especially y'all younger, like Kodak Black. Like, do you like? Is he like some people? I wonder. Like, bring it back. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine. Until he got locked up, I felt like he was a lot smarter than he let believe. And I was trying to give Kodak Black shoot him that same bell that he's doing it because he's clout chasing. But sometimes I wonder.
I feel like Kodak Black just never really had like the big like he was rolling with Master P for a while. Was that?
Or Master P was trying to connect with him.
Actually, the story was like I think Charlemagne tried to get Master P to talk to Master P to guide him because
he needs. Still.
And then Master P said, "I will never do that again."
We talking about Kodak, right?
Kodak, yeah.
All right, so little known story. I'm cool with DJ Nasty 305. Shouts out, core DJs. DJ Nasty was one of the first people to give me a Kodak song. This was before he hit the scene. Loved him. I loved his early joints. But he told me straight up, he said, yo, dude stays in nothing but trouble. I said, until he moves from Florida, he's going to have those issues.
He's in California now, right?
Right. He moved to Calabasas. But he moved everybody with him.
So nothing, yeah. You are the people you hang around.
So if you're not going to get outside of your environment, same thing. Look, the whole Nipsey situation. I would have been in Calabasas had I been Nipsey. I'm not even going to lie to you.
But that's just an unfortunate
It's
situation.
unfortunate,
because
but you can't. Sometimes you can't be in your own environment.
Oh yeah,
you
but
have
he didn't
to
have security because it wasn't planned.
Right.
I feel like he
that's the
knew.
unfortunate thing. But there's some people that have to get outside of their element.
Oh, definitely.
Like you need to move out your comfort zone and be uncomfortable somewhere else. Kodak was really uncomfortable. He made dope music as soon as he moved. He gets out. He goes to the West. He puts out a couple of hot joints. And then he goes on tour, gets in trouble again.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like in today's era, like back in the day, I felt like you had to get hot somewhere else first and then come back. You kind of
Cole did it.
J. Cole.
He must just not have as much money as it appears, because I feel like that's usually they wouldn't if they were. Think about all the rappers who like you can tell, like all right, they're set financially. Yeah, all the rappers that you're kind of iffy about seem to be all the ones seeking this attention. So I feel like, you must not just be making. You might not be making what you claim.
I mean, be honest with you. Look at Cardi's situation. Cardi's first management was raping her. Yeah, contractually killing her.
Yeah. Oh, was that with DJ Self or was that?
No. Self is pissed he didn't sign her. Oh, Self is like pissed right now. No, her first management, he had her signed. He had also signed her contract over to somebody else. So he's taking
like
his
A&R,
cut.
Really.
The top other companies taking their cut. She's probably, if you go on tour, let's just say, if I send Cardi on tour, she makes $1 million. Her management's getting 20% of that. The other management's getting their 20%. You got to pay back all your fees. What is Cardi left with? Yeah. Probably $20 million. I mean, 20 grand.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, with Kodak, just the way I was raised, it's hard to live, like add my moral life compass into things as exploitative as entertainment. Yeah. And so, me personally, I'm at the end of the day, I want to be able to people to know me for me.
So do y'all like, cause like now with music, you're selling. Back in the old days, Hollywood music, you had that wall up between the fan and there, but now it seems like you're selling yourself more now. So
everything's more accessible now.
Yeah. So do y'all let the fan as y'all build? Are you letting the fans take that journey with y'all? Like, how do y'all do it for our
Like, I mean, we walk on campus and people will just, like, yo, listen to your, people, like I always say, we used to be the college kids. When I reflect on it, we used to be the college kids that rapped. And now we've gotten ourselves to the place, marketing-wise, to where we're the music artists that happen to be in college.
We're rappers in college.
Yeah,
like
it's a different, it's a different on the play on words. So yeah, I feel like you have to be, and I feel like with Cole, that's what makes Cole and Jay and Kendrick, even though you can't really get to them, I don't feel like they change for their music. I feel like they live their music.
I felt the same way.
You know what I'm saying?
Like being on campus.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that's DJ Mike Lane. No, now that's DJ Mike Lane. You got me opening up for Nappy Roots. College kids saying that, like, yo, he's rocking out on stage. You know what I'm saying? So it is, once you hit a certain level,
of course,
it flips
to
where it's really business minded for you.
But to get
if
to
that's
that
what
level,
you're gonna do,
16 projects we've dropped.
Yeah,
in a matter of 2.5
I didn't drop
years.
projects. How many parties I DJ'd? That's the difference. How many free gigs?
I think it's more so a mental point too. Like, cause some people get stuck, like mentally.
Of course.
Like I think how you're saying, like Kodak, and just a lot of people, you get stuck the way you are. So you got to have something in you to make that switch where.
Or the people around you.
Yeah.
That's
that too.
I mean, to tell you.
You got to take the right. You got to take the right people with you. And that's not just. That's just not in music. That's business. It's in life. I mean, every situation you got to have that right person around you that doesn't really need you to make it. Like they're there for you genuinely
to support. Yeah.
Whether you fail or whether you succeed, you got to have that one person that's genuinely there, not for the outcome.
Yeah, just the one. I just want to see you do.
Or it doesn't have to be one person. It just has to be. You have to have the right team.
It's all about.
Tell me about it.
And we talked about it earlier. Like, I think that's why it's all important. Like what he was saying earlier about who backs you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if they're down for you and who you are, there's some strings. Some people may pull over others. When it comes to just. I mean, today, maybe in an era where social media. I feel like there's a whole facade about social media, and there's a lot of dope artists that don't get the shine that Bad Bobby May will if we're talking about releasing projects like JID.
Curse, man.
Yeah, so
Gets in the curse.
I mean, I feel like since social media and technology has taken us to a certain point, maybe a decade from now we'll be able to look back on this, and it'll be in a situation to where we as a hip hop culture decide or take the step to be like, all right, if these are really artists and these are more like public figures.
I think people are starting to tell now. Like now,
that I feel like that switch is happening.
Like,
but
YB
it's just
Cordae,
not. Okay, yeah, YB and Cordae.
Is like a new artist that's like coming up
Who's
off
dope.
his music.
Crazy.
Just off his music. He's not clout chasing. He's not doing nothing.
But what about the other YBN with Almighty?
Yeah, see?
Like,
but who is everybody gonna say is the better artist?
That's tough.
I mean, I feel like I like Cordae.
Yeah, YB and
But
Cordae.
I feel like if I like him, I feel like other people are going to say the other guy because I feel like I'm not usually with the people.
But you know what's true to hip hop, like
Yeah.
longevity.
Yeah.
Like,
But
in 10
what's
years,
true
it's
to
gonna
hip
be
hop is
Cordae
not necessarily,
What people flock to.
yeah, or what sell or what people move.
But then again, your longevity in hip hop is what
Yeah.
keeps you paid. Like Jay-Z's
Yes.
longevity in hip hop has him being $1 billion couple right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like what keep you
That's true.
longevity
That's
in
very
hip hop is the way you spend your money. Because truth be told,
Ooh,
you got
okay.
one.
You just
if
gotta last. Really.
If you got one hit, like YBN, he's not there yet. But like, say someone like, I don't know, you just pick someone. If you got that one song that people know, and you're good with your money, you can make that work for you. I mean, like, well, Nelly, he was a big superstar, so it's
You look
kind of
at
hard
Russ.
to say. Who?
The baby.
Russ
The producer, white dude.
with the long hair, Russ.
Yeah.
Falling in love.
He's selling out Staples Center. Like he
Yeah.
only been
And
out.
you really
what,
don't hear
3
nothing
years?
about him, really. I mean,
I know he makes his own beat. He engineers
course.
his stuff.
Yeah, he loves
and all
himself.
that.
But like, if
Yeah.
you look at what he's doing, like Forbes list, selling out arenas. That's how we talk about like what artists do we think are gonna last, and we say, all right, being completely like take ourselves out as an artist, just looking at their music. Who do we think has the potential to sell out like an arena? Like who? Like you look in.
if that's your goal.
You see
Yeah.
If that's
Boosie.
your goal.
Boosie has been out for how many years, but he's still doing like club shows.
Yeah.
Boosie,
Yeah, but then again,
Boosie's never gonna sell out the Staples Center. But so look, but that's why I'm saying you got artists that are coming up and they're like Russ. He's been out 3-4 years, not a very long time to be selling out the Staples Center and to be selling out Madison Square Garden.
But I think too
Like,
though you got to look
you
at
can see that and say
you
there's
gotta look
no
at
way
his,
he's
you
not
gotta
going
look
to
at
be
his
here in
fan
5 more
base.
years.
I don't know. That's too different.
Yeah.
I would disagree just because
Real fans are going to carry you forever.
Well,
Yeah, but you
I
also
feel like
got to
Boosie has real fans though. It's just two different demographics.
It's
Yeah, Boosie-
way different
Yeah,
demographics.
demographics.
Boosie
He has
just
a
killed.
place.
Boosie just killed Apple Chill. Which if you take everybody that was at Apple Chill and put them in the Staples Center, you sell out the Staples Center.
But that goes with longevity. What's going to connect to the most people for the longest amount of time?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like
So what
Boosie
separates,
just
like-
probably did. They probably did 40,000 people at Apple Chill.
And he has a lot of. He has a lot of hits too in his catalog that people are
Right.
always gonna come out.
But you
to
don't
see.
see artists that... Who else? All right, so what year do you think Boosie started popping out? What artists would you say came out around the same time?
Webby.
Right, yeah. that's-
Boosie was what? Oh,
that you would say are kind of like...
But see that Louisiana. I
More
feel like
success-
that
like-
Louisiana sound that we see in Kodak.
When I'm
Because-
Boosie's age, I don't want to have to be posting on Instagram like hit me up for features because I need some money.
The
You know what I
circle
mean?
back to the topic. Any of the
Not to not Boosie, but
who
like
so in the tied into what you're saying and the main topic, do you feel do you feel like they are clout chasing artists? Like the like that you would classify them as a clout chaser, and do you feel like any of those will last? Like, cause 50 Cent, I feel like he turned that clout chase Game is a clout chaser. I feel like
50,
he's to
yeah.
the point where he doesn't need to, but I feel like, but then again, it's to the point where it's so much real estate to get your little piece, you might have to do that.
but we
50
get
Yeah.
those in waves. We get those in like we have the clout chasers of our like when we were in middle school. Like who would have
Little,
the
like my
Soulja Boy,
childhood.
Lil B.
Yeah, see, and that's why when you brought up 50, I have to call him a clout chaser.
Yeah, I
Like
agree with
I
you.
have to. Not to say not to say that he doesn't stand behind what he believes in. Like all due respect, but during that time period when he's when him and his beef with
Ja Rule, Fat Joe.
yeah,
Rick
all
Ross,
of them in New
DJ
York.
Khaled.
Everybody
But the
on
difference
his
is he
head.
didn't come up off the clout
He
chaser.
But I felt
his antics
I
like
feel like
nobody
he
can touch
got
me.
hot because of How to Rob, which was saying names, which is not quite the same.
Quite,
Yeah.
of course.
But I feel like he noticed that,
It
and
propelled
then
him to
he
a
adapted
different
that to when social media became a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like he necessarily came up because of clout chasing or what, but I feel like he adapted what was working for him into what we are talking, what I consider clout chasing.
You be looking
So I
for
guess,
today.
the music changes. The music is what decides it then.
Yeah.
If everybody's gonna be a clout chaser,
I
your
just think
longevity
I
is
think
going
it's
to
just
depend on your music.
current events. It's what really decides it.
Yeah, sensationalism of media plays a big role in even
Whatever's going on at that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have people talking about not playing Kodak's songs
Of
if he
course.
wouldn't have been talking about Nipsey.
Of course.
In the aftermath of what happened.
right.
And I hate defending Kodak, but I feel like they went, this is such a sidebar, but I felt they went too hard on them for that.
Yeah, it was the way it was delivered.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
I
There's
feel
people
like-
clout
Yeah.
chasing off of Nipsey's death. Like
Right.
everybody
Now everybody
knows and loves
Yes.
Nipsey now,
Yeah.
and like some people reaching. Like I don't want
And
to
it's-
like
say it.
sound like I'm dissing people, but like was it Rick Ross? Like his elevator doors when they close, it's like this portrait of Nipsey. And it's almost like a competition of like.
But Ross and Nipsey were.
I know they're
tight
close. It's
too.
almost like
Yeah.
everybody's throwing like, oh, I like. I was friends with Nipsey. I was closest to him here. I was
But
see this is
I-
here.
in
It's like-
Nipsey's credit, I feel like Nipsey was that kind of dude.
Yeah,
he
where you
was.
felt
That's
like,
what it
was.
you
He
know,
was.
That's my
But why
point.
is everybody like posting? Like it's almost like you're showing how much you loved Nipsey or how
'cause,
close y'all were.
Yeah, I'll
Like
flip it around
it
with
changes
you.
anything.
Like y'all, we don't really know each other, but
course.
everybody, y'all have a good brand. Like
Yeah, decent,
for
yeah.
people, great. Like you know what I mean? Because I don't know how much y'all know about me or my pedigree or my history, like or whatever. But I mean, I know a lot of people in different circles, and people gravitate. Y'all have a very good name, with the people I know. So I don't know how well you know those people or whatnot, but so it says something happened to y'all just because of the good people that y'all are, people would feel that way. And then me being kind of on the outside, say even prior to this podcast, me knowing, 'cause I'm sure we'll continue to bond and go from there. just based off other people's vibe, it would affect me the same way that Nipsey probably touched those people. So they meet that. So I don't feel like people are clout chasing Nipsey. I feel like, and people could be, but those people are so irrelevant.
I think it was more shocking.
Yeah, and I feel like he really touched that. He had his death caused a wave.
Oh, of course.
And some of
Like,
those,
it was,
some of those that might just be the
like,
ripple. They might not be.
That's gonna
the
go down
wave.
in history. Like this, the impact off of that. That's
So
I've never seen that in my lifetime.
But I mean,
someone's passing.
And just the one of the inspirations for doing this title, this topic, is before they caught the real killer. There was a dude on Instagram. He had like a fake Instagram live.
Say he was Nipsey's killer.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's clout chasing.
That was my motivation for doing this. Like, why? People would. Like,
I thought it was real. I was like, who would lie about that? Like,
exactly.
You know what's crazy though? As soon as I saw it, I said, "This dude didn't kill Nipsey."
Come on, come on, like you,
but that's what I'm saying. This generation would do this to go famous,
and it's a shame that I have to even think of the idea that you're doing it for that, even if it's the game. No respect to, I believe the game has a lot of respect for Nipsey, a lot of people in Compton, but the fact that that conversation is even being had over somebody as great and as instrumental in hip hop, at least West Coast hip hop, as Nipsey, the fact that I have to have that conversation says a lot to me too. And then on top of that, you know, I have to check myself, and I'm like, you know, why can't the game be doing the same thing as a guy who's going to be sitting here wanting all the attention for being a killer of Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing I don't like where hip hop is going. It used to be I felt genuine. Well, I'm saying if the game posts, if it's Rick Ross posting, you know, the picture, portrait of Nipsey on his elevator, or if it's the game changing his license plate.
Game got a tattoo of Nipsey.
And a tattoo. Like, I'm not. It's just I hate the fact that I'm in a moment now to where I even have to, because Nipsey is, I mean, everything he stands for and has stood for, selling albums for $100 and having people buy, like, come on. And he's always, nobody's known this, but he's always, you know, taught ownership, preached ownership around the black community. And the fact that, you know, that conversation is being had around that individual, that I don't think if he was alive now, he would, you know, really condone a lot of the things that have sprouted.
Yeah, but I feel like I know Tony Baker Comedy on Instagram. Every day he posts the Hustlenomics from Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of good things that come from it.
Yeah,
and I want, you know,
the history books, like,
yeah,
it has to, like,
But like me, I admit I wasn't a Nipsey Hussle fan. I did not dislike him, but I was aware of him. I would say like Kendrick. It took a while for me to get used to his voice, and then so after his death, I listened to more music. I got used to his voice, and you know I bump him. I would say I like it. So, but I was aware of Nipsey. I was aware of the $100 mixtape when Jay-Z brought it. He, you know, and I'm selling it. And I think he did a $1,000 mixtape after that or something like that. So he was always been on my radar. But you know, I can't say I was not a fan, and I admit that. I'm not be like, but I know enough about Nipsey where I can fake it. You know what I mean? I just know enough about hip hop, but I don't even need to do that. So, but I don't know. I just got off topic. I don't know.
I mean, it's all about who you connect with. I mean, if you connect, and I don't like, you know, I hate the fact that sometimes you have to be involved with an artist to the point to where I can have respect for Nipsey and not really be a fan of his music, because I know for me, I like to listen to music I connect with, because I used to have a phase where I wanted to be, you know, so a Soulja Boy in middle school, you know, and you know what I'm saying, like where I wanted to be that, you know, Lil Twist, you know, and then, you know, as I get older, I'm starting to find this, man, I want to be Tyga, Lil Twist, like even till today, but I feel, you know, I can still have respect for artists and what they stand for and even their music, but there's I don't think there has to be a divide between having respect for somebody and music. I always feel that as one. Like, just because I don't listen to your music doesn't mean I knock anything you're doing.
I got
or
you.
any respect, you know, towards what you're.
Word. So we're gonna kind of wrap it up. This is kind of like a part one segment. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, so you can I'm going to have these guys back for another episode. But we're going to go around. Everybody say your name, social medias, any last words or whatever. We'll start with you, Basil.
You can follow me at _King Basil. You can follow us at Rebels No Savage on everything. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, Rebels No Savage. New album, Things Change, out now. So
Yeah. I'm Ed Bernadino, one half of Rebels No Savage. I like to say, shout out Wilmington. Hold on. I don't know. A lot of people, don't realize we're from Wilmington, North Carolina. That's what I rep.
Yeah, I didn't think y'all were from.
Well, he's
here.
from
I'm
Wilmington.
From here. He's from Greensboro.
But yeah, I Wilmington's
Cake
my
City.
home. You know what I'm saying? Cake City, yeah. But yeah, shout out to Jet Rogers. Shout out to Mike Snyder, another dope talented artist from the area. But yeah, just trying to put Wilmington on. Not down.
DJ Mike Lang, LANG on everything, literally.
Coast 97.3.
Yeah, you can always follow that. Core DJs, man, it's a lot. Follow the shoe store too. Follow Bozeman's.
No, don't follow. I need both of you to cut a check for that.
Cut.
Speaking of cutting checks, I definitely, because y'all probably won't see this on the next video, so I want to give one more shout out to TwoCreativeCreations for being a sponsor, giving us, I don't even know if we got some treats in the back, so on the break, y'all can check that out. Shouts out to Designz by T for the T-shirt. County Lines Clothing. Make sure you check them out. So make sure, but the most important thing, so after King, Basil, Evan, Mike, everybody, after they share this, make sure y'all view it. We need thousands and thousands of views. Make sure y'all hit subscribe so y'all can get, when they come back, and see the other episodes. So just search IMoLT on YouTube. We got the Facebook, Instagram, IMoLT on podcast. And I'm on, check for my playlist and stuff on Apple, Tidal, and coming near you. Thank you.
Yeah.